So a lot of people don't understand what it, like the pros and cons of just having a motorcycle in general. So it's going to basically become like a comparison between like if you were to have a car or if you were to have a motorcycle. What are the main differences? Why do you want a motorcycle over that? One of the things is motorcycles are obviously generally cheaper than, say, a car. They are cheaper to buy, usually easier to maintain, do most of the maintenance on your own. They're also cheaper to insure for the most part, depending on what bike you have, which is actually one of the main reasons, which I didn't discuss previously, why I got this bike. This bike is actually one of the cheapest motorcycles to insure. Motorcycles are generally a lot more fun to ride, and you kind of feel like you're actually part of the environment just because you're more exposed to it. You feel the wind rushing against you, you feel the acceleration more, and that makes it a lot more fun to do and go for a ride on. You can just go for a joyride on this a lot easier than, say, a car. Another thing is, you get on and off this pretty easily. You don't have to really look too hard to find a parking spot. You can usually park in some obscure places, so that makes it a little easier to get on and off. Now this one probably isn't as common, but let's say you're living in a place where there isn't a lot of parking and you need like a second or third vehicle and you don't actually have a parking spot. You can squeeze this into your original parking spot or park it in like a place like a car wouldn't normally be able to park in. Now I think the coolest part about like having a motorcycle, which you generally won't have with like just an average car and ride unless it's like a unique car that other people have. With that, motorcycles, they're really, like I keep stressing on in all my videos, it's really a community thing. I found Steven online from a forum just saying, hey, let's go for a ride. He was local, and then we just made it happen. It's really a community-based thing because it's just so much more fun to ride with another motorcycle rider. It is a very convenient form of transportation again, just with on and off, getting on and off, being easy to park in a lot of places a car normally can't, and with regards to being a fun form of transportation. But with all that, this obviously is not going to be something that you can, for all everyday situations, use as your single transportation method, chances are. For example, I'm a student, and over my business school, there are times when I have to dress up. And by dress up, I mean I have to wear a suit and come looking professional and things like that. So I can't wear a suit under my motorcycle jacket. I can't come with my, what the hell is this? With my disheveled hair. And sometimes you'd come sweaty and things like that. Creases on your clothing and things like that. So that's one of the situations where a motorcycle would suck. There are times when the weather just won't allow. It's either too cold to the point where you're not going to be comfortable to go for a longer ride on a motorcycle. It's too hot, and like I said, you got to show up to a place not looking like you came from the Sahara Desert. Longer trips, you're probably going to be more comfortable in a car. You're going to have less fatigue. You're going to be more comfortable in a car for longer trips and things like that. Not have as much to worry about. It's just going to be a more casual ride and things like that. And that's one of the pros and cons. Being a motorcycle rider, there's a lot more to pay attention to, so you feel more alive. It's a lot more exciting and things like that. But at times when you don't want all that extra excitement and extra focus that it requires, that's a situation when a car or another transportation method would be a lot more convenient. Why else do motorcycles suck? If you're traveling with a bunch of people, it's going to be more efficient and quicker to go with a car, chances are, especially on longer trips. You, your kids, your wife, whatever, it's going to obviously be more convenient. You're not going to tool up on like 3 motorcycles to get your whole family around. You're going to go with one big car or whatever, you know? Which brings me to another point. Cars, especially when you have more people in it, tend to be more efficient. Say they get about 25 miles per gallon on average. Say this gets about 60 miles per gallon on average. That's for one person. Whereas the Honda Accord can carry 5. And then you use that situation for, say, a Prius, and the numbers are even more in favor of the car. So that's something else. It's not always going to be the most efficient and fuel efficient transportation method. And now, one of probably the most important things, which a lot of people already know, with motorcycles, there's a lot more safety gear. You don't have to wear a full-on jacket or a helmet when you're going in your car to go to work or school or your joyride. With your bike, you will if you want to be a safe rider. Motorcycles, without a doubt, are not as safe as cars. That's probably the biggest con of what makes them so stupid. And when I say stupid, again, I'm riding a motorcycle right now. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm merely doing this for, like, to elaborate on the differences between a motorcycle and a car and whatnot, other transportation, and why, for example, a car can sometimes be a better option for you in a lot of circumstances. Don't pull out in front of us. Cars have airbags. Cars have 4 wheels. Cars are not going to low side, high side. If you tap on your brakes too hard on a car, you're not going to tip over most situations, unless you're in like a box Jeep. Cars are not going to have that much problem with sand. They have 4 wheels. You know, a lot of things like that. And probably most importantly, cars, cagers, have the cage around them. There is metal, plastic protection, a cage around them to protect them in the event of an accident and things like that. With a motorcycle, not really, as you can see. This ain't gonna do much for me. That's why you always gotta be careful, alert, drive smart, and always be aware of those situations and things like that. That's just one of the things that you have to expect and be aware of with riding a motorcycle, which makes you a better rider, but is also more to be concerned about. Develop that extra sense and awareness of your surroundings and the dangers and risks associated with motorcycling. So that's just my 2 cents on the topic, guys. Why I love motorcycles and why I think they're stupid. If you're someone who hasn't got a motorcycle but's thinking about it, this is going to be a video that helps you realize those things that maybe people don't so much talk about. Understand what's associated with the motorcycles, what you can expect from it, and kind of like the less positive things associated with it that you're just going to have to become aware of and things like that. Alright, so that's going to be a good place to wrap it up. If you're new to the channel, guys, be sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you hated it. Leave in the comments below, start a discussion, what you like and dislike about motorcycles, what you were surprised about when you first got into motorcycling that you didn't know about, perhaps. Help out the newer riders out there. Myself and the community here will be more than happy to help you guys out and stuff like that. Again, this is a whole community channel, So this is the perfect place for both newer and more experienced riders to help each other out and learn off each other. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link for the website below. It's still a work in progress, but you can find a lot of cool motovloggers on that channel as well. That'll be helpful for and entertaining for all you riders out there. Started the Instagram again, be sure to check that out. You'll be able to see like behind the scenes of my rides and the people I meet up with, cool pictures of the bike and things like that. Won't be doing Twitter and Facebook as much, but if you want, you can go ahead and follow, like those pages as well. Hopefully that video helped you guys out, was entertaining in some sense, beneficial. Until next time, guys, peace.